August 31st, 2014, and we are here at the Roots Family Picnic. This is the 42nd annual Roots Family Picnic with Roots Voices. And Roots Voices is a project to collect stories of African Americans here in the Northwest. And we're here today with Mr. Thompson.
Right.
And would you please state your full name?
My name is Mertiss J. Thompson. Everyone calls me J because Mertiss comes out sometimes as Mortimer, Murder, Mervyn.
May I call you Jay?
Just call me Jay. Yeah, that'd be great.
In the course of the interview?
That'd be great.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to really guide you much through this conversation. I just want you to tell me about arriving here in Seattle, a little bit of your background. You're a teacher, you're a golfer. Tell us what's up.
What's up? Oh, I came to Seattle in 1986. I was living in La Jolla, California, where I had been playing golf and painting. I went to art school in San Francisco, the Academy of Art, San Francisco, and decided to come to Seattle to take a look at it. I didn't like coming up here because it was cold, and it rained up here and snow, and I didn't like that. I'm living in La Jolla, about a block from the ocean, and it was heaven. But I did come up to Seattle and start teaching golf. I had my card to teach. I'm a master golf instructor. I had my card to teach, but being that,
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Just where were you teaching golf?
In San Diego.
In San Diego, okay.
But I came here to teach.
Okay.
You know, hoping I could teach when I got here. But when I got to Jefferson Park, that's one of the first places that I stopped on Beacon Avenue at the golf course there. And because of being African American, I hate to put it on that, but that's the reason why I wasn't able to teach, even though I had the credentials to teach golf, you know. It ended up, I think I went down to a golf course and tried to get a job in the locker room, and I couldn't get a job in the locker room. But I went back to Jefferson Park, got a job just on the golf course as a marshal, where you ride around and tell people to play faster or whatever. In a short period of time, though, I met a person who had a lease on the restaurant at the golf course, and we got to talking, found out that he was a Navy man, I'm a Navy veteran. We kind of bonded, and I became fast friends. During this time, he got sick, and because we had become fast friends and created a bond among ourselves, he allowed me to have the golf course restaurant. So I was the first African American to have a lease on a restaurant in Seattle. And when I took the restaurant, I had for 5 years. And I wasn't a chef, but I hired people who could do that. And the business was always slow in November, so I was allowed to go to Paris during those months and just paint. And I did that for 5 years until I got tired of getting up and having those 15-hour days. Coming to Seattle, I didn't paint a lot. You know, I'm an artist. I'm a fine artist. Coming to Seattle, I wasn't able to paint a lot because I was looking for a job and trying to get, settled. But after I left the restaurant, I attracted an agent, an African-American woman who liked my work, and she would sell my work for me. She would represent me. So after contacting her, I was able to paint every single day for 10 years. This was in the 90s. This was around 95. I was able to paint every day for 10 years. And she sold my work. One of the paintings that I was trying to sell was of a runaway slave. I was trying to sell it for $25, 11 by 17, couldn't give it away. She sold it to the University of Washington Medical Center for $2,500. I couldn't give it away. When she called me and told me I'm lying in bed, I couldn't believe it. But that was phenomenal, because I've been painting for years. But when I started teaching school in the South at a segregated school, This was in the 70s, before you were born probably. But I was teaching in the South, in Arkansas, after I left San Francisco. Started putting on these free art classes in the community for kids, at-risk kids, who had nothing to do. One of my students was Debbie Turner, who went on to become Miss America in 1990. And she ended up on the CBS morning show, where she was a contributor to the show. Dr. Turner, she was a veterinarian after she went to school in, I think, the University of Missouri. But by coming to, go ahead.
Okay, so I'm just trying to piece it together. What you've been telling me is, okay, so you were teaching in the 70s.
Yeah.
And I want to hear more about that teaching experience.
Okay.
But then it was 1986, you were
Here.
You were in California.
Yeah.
And then from California, you came
Right,
north
Seattle.
to Seattle.
Yeah.
So the teaching then, you were in Arkansas?
Yeah.
In the 1970s.
In the 70s. In the 70s. Guess who's coming to dinner?
Yes.
Or to teach?
Yes.
And all the faces were red, and I'm a teaching assistant coming in. And I'm coming from San Francisco, where I had been in the opera season in San Francisco. Didn't know anything about opera, but if you're in San Francisco, they have a season where you put on a tux and you go to listen to this opera, you know, whatever. But I'm full of confidence, full of passion for teaching and about my art and sharing it, you know, so.
Oh, that's pretty amazing story. The golfing experience, though.
The golfing experience, I started playing golf when I was 8 years old. In the South, where if they caught you on the golf course, they'd run you off.
Right.
But then after they leave, then you get back on and start playing.
Well, I jumped the fence at
Jefferson
Golf Course when
Oh,
I was a kid.
okay.
North,
Yeah.
Seattle.
So I ended up playing golf throughout high school, joined the Navy, played golf in the Navy, and went on and got pretty good. Started playing golf in Mexico and California. Went to school, got my playing card, etc., you know, and played golf for a living for a while. So I ended up eventually working for the first tee of Greater Seattle. That's a golf program that was started by the boxer Joe Louis. His son, Joe Louis Jr. became the president of the first tee. So they teach at-risk kids how to play golf, and I developed life skills. And I did that for years, and would go around the country to other venues to teach these kids.
And you had an experience with Tiger Woods?
Yeah, I brought Tiger Woods here when he was 16. That was when I had the restaurant. I had no idea that he would be as good as he is now. Skinny little kid.
With his dad.
With his dad, yeah. I fixed breakfast for his dad, you know, grits and the whole bit, you know. But I saw this kid hit a golf ball, and I had been playing golf for about 40 years then, you know. But he could do things with a golf ball with a golf club rather, that amazing. And we've all seen what he's done, you know. Yes.
Are you still instructing?
Yes, I am. I've got a lesson tomorrow.
Really?
Yeah.
At Jefferson?
At Jefferson,
Here?
yeah.
At Jefferson Golf Course?
Yeah.
Right. Do you teach all ages? Or
I teach all ages from 5 to 95 or beyond. I was also able to write for a golf magazine out of New York. It's called the Afro-American Golfers Digest.
I had no idea there was an African
I know.
Golf Digest?
Yes, it's called the African American Golfers Digest. I was a contributing writer, and they would send me around the country to play golf, write stories, take pictures. Said one of my best experiences was going to Montreal, Canada, and going downtown Montreal and seeing a statue of Jackie Robinson. That was, I didn't know. I knew that he played for the farm team starting out in Montreal, but I didn't know that they had erected a statue of him in Montreal. So I've had some great experiences. Golf has given me a lot.
You know, I really enjoyed golfing when I was much younger. Haven't gone back to it, but now maybe I'm encouraged to get back at it.
You should.
And do you know Dave Mann?
Of course.
Okay.
Of course. David.
Mann, right. Does he play play with Dave?
I have played with him. Dave's health is not that great right now, but I'll probably see him tomorrow. He comes up and sits around, you know, gets a snack or whatever. Dave is a good guy.
He is a great guy. He's come to the museum. The new baseball exhibit, of course, highlights him
Yeah.
in a certain portion of the baseball exhibit here.
We, Dave and I have a bond because he played baseball. That was my first love. I joined the Navy to play baseball because I didn't have the money to go to college, but I didn't know the Navy had a baseball team.
I didn't.
I just knew I was going to play baseball. And I played baseball for the Navy for 3 years. That's all I did.
I didn't know the Navy had baseball.
Well, they did. Well, we played prisons and everything, colleges.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So from baseball to golf, you were just following this.
Just doing what I love to do.
Yeah.
I've always done what I love to do. And it's
And the art, the painting, acrylic.
acrylic, anything. Coffee. You can paint with coffee and darken it, lighten it, whatever, you know. So,
I actually have a small painting done in coffee.
Do you?
Mexico. Yeah. When I
oh,
was in Mexico, an artist painted it.
okay, okay.
But gosh, your story is just so exciting. There's so much to follow here. Back to the artist and your passion for art. What about Onyx and the collective here?
Yeah.
In Seattle? Do you?
I know Al Doggett. I met him when I first came to Seattle, and that was in the 80s when I was trying to get my work downtown. They used to have art galleries downtown on Pike Street around Nordstrom's. I think Frederick and Nelson's was here then, you know.
It was James Washington Jr.
Yeah, I met him at Mount Zion, you know. Yeah. When I was in art school in San Francisco, the teacher asked me if I knew who Jacob Lawrence was. Of course I didn't.
Yeah.
But I finally found out, and I got to know Jake and his wife here in Seattle before he passed away. So, yeah.
See, there's so many connections here, and your story is so much bigger than what we have time to talk about here today. I hope that you would consider allowing us to contact you
Yes.
on today and just get more of your story and be able to incorporate it into the archive of the Black Heritage Society.
That would be great. They have the black baseball, Washington baseball players going on here right now.
Yes.
I'm going to be contacting the director about having black golfers because Bob Wright, I don't know if you know him, but he was the first African American to win the U.S. Amateur. He's a local guy.
He's local. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I spoke with Carol Peoples.
I know Carol.
Okay, about an exhibit that
Of golf?
that almost sounds like what you're talking about.
It is, yeah.
And they have so many wonderful photographs in the archives that I think that's a great idea. If you would pursue that, I would pursue
I am.
it from my end
Yeah.
too. I do work with the education department.
Okay.
So if together we can just, and with Carol's support to bring
Okay.
that story to the museum.
I've done a lot of paintings of black golfers. You know, I've played with a lot of the professionals. Lee Eldo, guys you probably never heard of. Charlie Sifford, who was the first black golf professional. Joe Lewis financed his route on the golf tour.
See, that's something I learned from you today, is that Joe Lewis was such a huge supporter
He was. Joe played golf.
of golf. He played golf, but
He lost a lot of money.
enjoyed it, yeah.
When the Sonics were here and the Chicago Bulls would come, we would take Michael Jordan out and clean him because he couldn't play. But he had a lot of money.
He loved to play.
He loved to gamble. Yeah, he did. Yeah, yeah. So he was, yeah.
Okay, well, gosh, it's really good talking to you, Jay.
Thank you so much.
And we're going to talk again.
We
soon
will.
Because I really got to hear more about what
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And the next time you bring a sandwich, right?
Yes.
George. George.